What's up, y'all? It's your girl Age, and I'm here to talk about episode 3 of Love in the Air. And this one is called I Like Rain That Doesn't Mean Rainfall. Let's jump right into it.
So this episode starts with Pai and Payu, and they're in Pai's shop, and Pai comments that, hey, Payu, you're in a good mood, and Payu's like, you are too. And Pai was like, well, something good happened, which we're going to keep this little comment, we're going to put a pin in it and save it for a later episode. So Pai is like, okay, so the weather's good, let's go outside and race. And Payu's like, okay, like what's got into him? And then the scene ends, and Payu is like, I'll wait and I'll see Rain, because Rain is on his mind. So the next scene, Rain is trying to figure out how he is going to get Payu to fall in love with him in 30 days. Also, he's stressing out over his school schedule, and trust me, a lot of us have been there with school and classes and all your exams, your assignments due. So I get it. Rain is banging the desk, stressed out. He's like, all this stuff on my schedule, that don't even count the time that I have to do my homework and that I have to sleep. Then Sky comes in and Rain asks him what happened that night, because they separated. Rain went with Payu, and we are never told where Sky went. So when Rain asks him, hey, what happened? You see how quickly Sky is trying to change the subject. He's like, I'm fine, whatever. Let's talk about school. Let's talk about you, Rain. Then, of course, Rain doesn't want to talk about school, so he's like, Sky, will you help me? And Sky's like, with what? Now, if I were Sky, I would be really skeptical whenever Rain asks me for help, because if Sky was, remember the race, they both got in trouble and almost got caught. Well, I don't know if Sky got in trouble, but I know Rain got in trouble and Rain got caught. So we go to the board, and Rain wrote mission on there. How to get him in 30 days or something like that. So that's when Sky notices him. He's like, him? Because if you don't remember, we don't know whether Rain is gay, bisexual, or anything like that. He had a crush on Play, and it's assumed that he's heterosexual. Even Sky was like, when did you stop liking Play and start liking guys? In my opinion, Payu must have awakened something in Rain. I think that's so adorable. So the boys are coming up with the mission on how to win Payu over, and Sky writes one rule on the board, and that is to see him every day. And he's like, make sure you can do this first rule before you do anything, because fortune favors the bold. And I think this part is really cute because Rain is basically acknowledging that he is shameless, and we all know he is, and it just plays into his cute little character. And it's a running joke in the show that Rain isn't the brightest, and sometimes that makes for the boldest people, because I guess they don't think through their actions and the consequences. That's okay. And then when you look at Rain after they come up with that one rule plan, he's just so excited. Little does he know that his plan is about to fail, because day 1, he goes to the facility and he cannot get to Payu. Day 2 is the same thing. Day 3, same thing. So on day 4, he runs into Saifa, who is Payu's younger twin brother. And Rain looks at the jumpsuit and accidentally thinks that it's Payu, because they have a certain logo on their jumpsuit that lets people know that they're the owner. So Rain is actually accidentally meeting the family. The brothers both own the shop. And it's funny that Payu is actually the oldest twin, because I would have switched it. I would have thought Saifa was older, just by the way he looks. Anyway, Rain still doesn't meet Payu that day. So later on, when Rain is back at school, he's just sulking in his desk. Sky comes in and asks Rain how he's doing with his mission. Of course, we know it's gone horribly. So Sky tells Rain, if you can't get through the first step, don't ask about the second and third or fourth step. Which is actually good, life advice for most circumstances. Listen to Sky here, guys. I mean, you can ask about the next steps, but like make sure you can get past that like hurdle. Just a little mini life lesson there. Also, Sky, being the good friend that he is, like, he tells Rain, you need to do your schoolwork. You sit here worrying about this boy. Do your schoolwork! This is actually the same thing that Payu wants, too. He wants Rain to use his brain more and, allocate his time wisely. I will say, I do like how Sky and Payu both want Rain to do better in life, to be smarter and be more responsible, because we all know Rain don't use his brain sometimes. The big issue here is that Rain isn't using his time wisely, and it will affect his schoolwork later on in the show, and we'll see that. Which actually brings me to another life lesson, guys. Do not prioritize another human over getting your shit done, no matter how much you like them. Yes, it's great to have a crush, absolutely, especially when your crush gives you attention. But make sure you put yourself, first whenever you're still like a young adult and you're still growing, finding yourself. Also, note that if a person you really likes you back and cares for you too, they will want you to get your work done and be a better person in life. Because if you have a better life and y'all end up together, then they would have a better life too. So just word from the wise, word from age. So I really want you guys to pay attention to Payu's actions carefully in this show. It pertains to Rain and him being responsible and better. So Rain goes back to the shop and he asks Ion, what is this clue? Because Rain had received a text from Payu saying there's an easier way to meet him. See, even Ion is trying to give Rain clues because he wants to see them together. So he's a call. Some people like calls. And also some people like boys who speak politely to them, He is such a good, awesome wingman. Which is also another life lesson from Age. Be direct with people and don't beat around the bush. It saves a lot of time and confusion, trust me. Take it from me. Anywho, the rules of the mission change now to call him and to be polite. So Rain calls him, and he's like, oh, I'm here, can you meet me? Can you meet me? And Payu's not saying anything. And so Rain says, please. Rain fell deep into Payu's trap. And speaking of Payu's trap, as I mentioned in my previous episode, Payu was playing games with Rain. But to keep it honest, as an adult, Payu is way more efficient in that he knows what he wants and needs from a relationship. And he's actually helping Rain woo him. And by helping Rain woo him, I mean by helping Rain further fall into his trap. It's a catch-22. But at least now Rain knows how to implement Sky's plan, which is to see Payu every day. He has to call him and be polite. The next scene is Saifa. Saifa. Siblings know siblings. So when he is sitting across from Rain, he's trying to warn Rain about Payu, his twin brother, by saying basically, all the people that Payu have been with, Payu basically ran them away. Because he's difficult to deal with. Payu is a difficult person to date. He has high expectations, as we all can see. And apparently he likes to fuck with people just because. But Saifa doesn't know Rain. Saifa doesn't know that Rain doesn't take hints very well. Nor does he take them quickly. Nobody listened to Saifa's warnings if he did understand them. Because that's just Rain. In real life, though, to be honest, Payu does seem like a pretty difficult person to please. Because look at all of his accomplishments. Anyone who's smart will be intimidated to date someone like Payu. I mean, unless you have your stuff together, too. But at the same time, maybe Rain's nonchalantness works for him as far as even wanting to mess with Payu. You know what I mean? That's why he's not really intimidated. But I remember I had a boss who once told me, she was like, maybe I'm just not smart enough to know when I should be concerned. So that's why I just go into things head first. Could that apply to Rain here? I think so. So after Sci-Fi leaves, this scene is more mind games from Payu. He tells Rain, you're infatuated with me. You're jealous. I told you I don't like you using vulgar language. It is so clear to see who's actually the one pursuing who You know what I mean? Also, a person like Rain would be really fun to play with, especially for a person like Payu. When you think of their personalities, we already said that Rain is kind of hot, not really hot-headed, but acts before he thinks. And Payu is the complete opposite. He like plans in advance. And he also likes to annoy Rain because he's easily annoyed. And you know someone who's easily annoyed, you know how to push their buttons, you're gonna do it. Oh my gosh, you know who's in charge here? When Rain's like, I'm leaving. And Payu's like, nah, I'm hungry. Come on, let's go get food. Do y'all see the smirk on Rain's face when like he's pulled by Payu? We know who's in charge. They're at the restaurant now. And y'all see how Rain was initially ordering the food. Then Payu ended up ordering for Rain. Then more Payu games. He's playing with Rain so much. I love how he tells him, I don't think you have a plan to pursue me. It's not too late to back out now. What is important, though, is that he tells Rain, you're already afraid of how people will view you. And I think it's really important in any type of relationship, especially like LGBTQ relationships, that, you know, you have to be comfortable with your partner. You can't make it awkward within your relationship. So you already know that there's going to be like stigma around it. So you can't really care too much what people say about your partner. But here, you kind of tell that Rain is like a little bit uncomfortable. Maybe that's just me. Because when you think about it, Rain skipped a step. Not only does he have a crush, but I think this is like the first male that he had a crush on. So I don't think he got to like necessarily explore those feelings. But maybe I'm just like reading too deep into it. Let's carry on. Rain confesses to the whole shop that he is pursuing Payu. When I tell y'all, he's falling straight into Payu's shop. Payu is playing him like a fiddle. And Rain is so confused and conflicted about his own feelings. Payu knows more about Rain's feelings for him than Rain knows about his own feelings. Also, Rain is so submissive to Payu. Do y'all realize that? He is letting Payu feed him, wipe his mouth at the table. It's adorable. Once again, Rain's body is doing the opposite of what his brain is telling him. So once the boys are outside of the restaurant, Payu is telling Rain that he is worried because Rain needs to manage his time better and his schoolwork better instead of spending time with him, i.e. Payu. And remember what I said earlier, like if a person really likes you, they will want you to better yourself. Well, here is Payu showing that. Also, we realized that, you know, when Payu is calling Rain stupid, he really means cute. So I thought that was cute. And Rain obviously likes that, as you can see. Rain is sleeping in class, and Sky notices. And also, like, Rain only wakes up for Payu whenever Payu texts him. And then he gets, like, really excited and things like that. And it is clearly evident that he completely forgot his crush on Plea. When I tell you, Rain keeps blowing off Plea like she is the lint on his jacket. He's like, crush who? Who is this woman? Also, we notice that Rain keeps blowing off or pushing back his assignments whenever Payu wants to do something. And this is going to be a big issue. Because Rain ends up missing the deadline on his assignment. Responsibility, guys. It's part of being an adult. His teacher ripped him a new one and would not let him submit that assignment. It's a hard lesson for Rain to learn, but he really needed it. I'm actually happy his professor didn't accept his assignment. It's a wake-up call for Rain. So Sky and Plea are outside the classroom and ask Rain, you know, how to go with the professor. And Rain shakes his head. He's so sad. He is so sad. But then y'all notice how Plea, like, kind of puts her hand on him and it's like, you know, kind of trying to console him a little bit. But Rain takes Plea's hand off of him. Oh my gosh. Yeah, he's done with this crush. He has no crush. Instead, you know who he wants to go by? Payu. You know who he wants to console him? Payu. So Rain goes and he stands outside in the rain at Payu's shop. Honestly, though, I had those days where I had to just stand outside in the rain myself. Maybe not getting completely drenched like him, but definitely have rain just falling on me and just me thinking about a bad day. So I get it, Rain. Also, side note, if y'all ever want like a good song, there is this song called Go Outside in the Rain by Melira. Y'all should check it out. So Saifa lets Rain into the shop and into Payu's room, and he lets Payu know that Rain is here. He was standing outside in the rain, poor baby. And Payu just rushes over to him, rushes from work, and immediately goes to his baby. Can we just comment on how sweet it is when Payu opens his arms to Rain without even saying a word? He hates to see his baby like that. He hates to see his boy like that. Gosh, this is so beautiful. Let me tell you, they are bored gorgeous. And then you have like soft Rain crying in front of Payu. Also, can we take note on how the actual rain outside is symbolized here? Rain said it's raining outside in sadness. That's what people usually think. However, me, I like the rain. I think it's more of a comfort thing instead of like a pain thing. But anyway, rain is perfect for any type of thing, any type of feeling. That's just me. I'm sorry, it's just beautiful how Payu is just holding Rain, and then Rain has like a little whining noise. Oh, it's so cute. And then Rain is worried about crying in front of Payu. Boy, you better sit down. And see, guys, even Payu said the professor was correct. Responsibility. It is key, everyone. And Payu said, you can't be my boo if you can't be responsible. And take it from me, age. I had to learn the same lesson Rain did. That's how I'm able to see it from Payu and the professor's perspective. Life is hard, you know? But life is also a great teacher. And remember earlier in the video, Sky said to Rain, if you can't get past the first step, don't even ask about like steps 2, 3, and 4. It's kind of the same thing that Payu said in this scene. The scolding from your teacher is small compared to the real world. He mentioned how he get criticized and picked apart by his own clients. When Rain gets out of school, he's going to have to deal with the same stuff. Hell, I get picked apart and criticized by my own clients too in the real world. You know what I mean? And that's me, the commentator. Payu told him the truth, but in a nicer way than his teacher did, you know? It's a real sweet ending to this episode. I liked it. And you can really appreciate the lesson here. On top of the cute romance that we get to see also. Last, there's the extra scene. Saifa saw a photo of Rain in Payu's phone. And Saifa was like, Rain was already your prey, huh? And I tell y'all, the last lesson of this video, y'all need to stay prepared like Payu stays prepared, okay? You need to stay a few steps ahead. Be like him in this sense, guys. Alright, I'm taking off. Y'all have a great day. Enjoy life, family. Go outside, take a walk, look at nature. And you guys have a good rest of your day.